Hey guys, Steve Zonardo here with Remax West Zonardo Associates. Happy Monday morning, and just a quick check-in regarding the real estate market. We're going to talk about inventory. We're going to talk about predictions on inventory going into the winter months and what this means for a seller while selling in the winter months. And then I just want to touch base regarding the Toronto rents on a one-bedroom condo. I touched a little bit about it last week. I posted something on Instagram yesterday just to kind of show you from 2016 to 17 to 18 to 19 where the average rents were basically landing. So just kind of touching that for investors. And so inventory, we're at 16,200 units, down about 300 to 400 units from last week, but we had about almost 1,200 sales in 7 days, which is awesome. And I just checked in with the inventory in Vaughan specifically over the weekend, and I'll give you an example. In Vaughan, between Friday and Sunday, we can expect between 15, let's say 25 units coming to the market. And then over this weekend, I think we had 3 to 5. And I believe yesterday, if I wasn't mistaken, there was actually not even one listing listed. So it goes to show you that a lot of people are not going onto the market, which is putting pressure on buyers. Limited choices, and this is why we're having this huge sellout. Even for ourselves, we had 2 offers on 2 different properties over the weekend. It was the weirdest thing. With one offer, we came to terms. It's a conditional deal, and then ultimately the buyer's agent didn't answer his phone. I guess he didn't have full control over his buyers, and basically just disappeared. It was the weirdest thing ever. And then I'm just trying to kind of reflect on it. I'm thinking that the realtor may have had 2 to 3 offers on or a couple offers on different properties, and then maybe they secured one at the same time as they did ours, which is, if you go into our Real Estate Council of Ontario, RECO, we can definitely file some huge complaints to that realtor. But again, we're not in the business of complaining. We're just going to move on and next chapter. Talking about inventory going into the winter months, November, December, which we're touching now. The next couple of weeks will be in November, or actually next week. So going into, let's say, the winter months, you're going to see inventory going down. We're going to see scale down a bit, obviously, and we're going to have limited choices for buyers. So I know a lot of sellers mentally think that this is not the best time to sell because not a lot of people are going to be out, viewing properties and purchasing properties. That's not the case. I think you got to look at it like this. It's always quality over quantity. Your showings might go down, but you're going to have more quality buyers. And I'll tell you why. Because if somebody's actually getting in a car in a snowstorm or cold weather, dragging their family out and viewing properties during the holiday seasons, you've got a very qualified buyer because these are motivated to buy, obviously, if they're going through all this heartache to get out and view properties. Not like the summertime where you're in a pair of shorts and you can go out and just have some fun and view some properties. That's window shopping at its prime. But in the wintertime, not so much. I think so that's why we're going to have more quality versus quantity in the winter, and this is good for sellers. Why? Because again, lack of inventory. If you have a good product, you go on the market, you're going to have real buyers. So that's my rant on winter selling. Talking about rent. So take a look at that Instagram post I posted yesterday just to kind of give you an idea. So the average rent in Toronto, so it's a general all of Toronto, so you can go from Yorkville to Rexdale to give you like an example. We're at almost $2,100 for a 1-bedroom condo in average lease price in Toronto. And then in 2016, it was about $1,650. So imagine, it's almost a 30% increase. So what this means even for investors is that, imagine if you had a property, let's say a 1-bedroom condo in Toronto, prior to 2016, you had a 30% increase in your basically income or potential income you can gain. Obviously, when you have a tenant in there, you can only increase the rent by inflation, so it's usually between 1.5 to 2%. The last couple of years have been 1.8%, and that's it. But let's say the tenant does leave, you can go right to market value. So let's just say you were getting $1,700 back in 2016, and now you're probably maybe close to 18 because you incrementally increase the rent. But ultimately, if the tenant does leave now, in specific areas, you probably do another $400 to $500 per month, which is huge for investors. Obviously, we're looking for passive income and retirement income. So that's pretty much it. And even for investors, I'm talking to a lot of investors. They're on the fence. They don't know what to buy or when to buy. And I just kind of talk from experience. I purchased something personally a month ago here in Kleinburg, and it was nothing on my radar. But I looked at the property, it made sense financially, and we pulled the trigger within 24 hours. I mean, that's how fast we got it done. Because ultimately, if we're going to do between $4,500 to $4,700 per month gross income, that puts about $1,200 of passive income into my pocket. Which again, that's retirement you know, retirement income, because obviously self-employed, we don't have anything that's going to come back to us when we do retire, so we have to start planning now. And that's pretty much it. So amazing, guys. Have an amazing day. We'll chat soon. Ciao.